Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Vanessa Puig-Williams. I work for Environmental Defense Fund, and I lead our water program here in Texas, where we're working on advancing sustainable groundwater management. So I'm very excited to introduce the next segment of this EarthX stage, which is all about water, about cenotes, caves, and ocean exploration. And I would like to welcome to the stage Sam Meacham, who is the director of CINDAQ, which is a small nonprofit in the Yucatan Peninsula that is working on groundwater science and all the issues surrounding that. So please, Sam, come up to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. And I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm getting over a wicked cold, and so I'm a little sniffly. So bear with me. So I am the director of a small nonprofit based in Quintana, Mexico. And for 30 years, I've been involved in the exploration of one of the least visible, and I would argue one of the most interesting places left for us to explore. And it's not deep space, it's not the ocean floor, it is the flooded cave systems of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. And these are not just geological curiosities. They are the beating heart of our region's freshwater supply. It's a massive hidden aquifer that sustains millions of people across countless communities, as well as every single ecosystem that we have in our region. And yet most of the people that live on top of it have no idea that it even exists. And so the question is, how do you protect what you can't see? And after over 30 years, what we've come to realize is you can protect it through the use of data. It sounds pretty simple, but data is everything. In specific, usable data. That's what we're all about. My journey began out of pure curiosity. I grew up in Austin on the Edwards Aquifer, so I spent many days at Barton Springs, so I knew what an aquifer was, and I got to the Yucatan Peninsula, and I wanted to know, where is this water coming from? And that led me into the caves, and then that led me to found CINDAQ in the year 2000 to really help bridge the gap between exploration and science. And over the years, we've built a team of expert divers, scientists, IT and GIS specialists, and storytellers, and together we've logged over 20,000 dives into this extreme environment. Our flagship project, the Yoshbel-Ha system, is now the longest underwater cave in the world, with over 330 miles of surveyed passageway, making it only second to Mammoth Cave, which is the longest cave, wet or dry, on planet Earth. But we don't measure our success in miles. We measure it in knowledge gained. And what we've learned is that exploration is only the first step in this process. And if we don't record, store, and share what we observe, then we've missed the opportunity to learn from it. And the aquifer beneath the Yucatan Peninsula is the region's only freshwater resource. It's also incredibly fragile. So, a leaking septic tank, a clandestine garbage dump, they can have ripple effects across miles of interconnected cave systems, which eventually spill fresh water out onto the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef. This is also a place where the natural and cultural worlds collide. Over the years, divers have found the remains of extinct megafauna within these caves. We have the oldest human skeletons in the Western Hemisphere in these caves. We have a diverse assemblage of biological life above and below the water. That lives below the water is adapted to live in complete darkness. We've also gained insights into the rise and fall of the ancient Maya civilization. I think you can understand why maybe I've stayed there for 30 years. The scientific potential is absolutely enormous, but only if we can organize and interpret the information that we collect. And that is why data is at the heart of everything that we do. But raw data is just that, it's raw data. To make it meaningful, it has to be curated. And once it's curated and clean, then it is searchable and usable. It's not necessarily about the data you have, it's where is the data? So we've spent the last 5 years building a centralized data management system that allows us to bring together all of our information, all of it, with a long-term goal to make it accessible and usable for scientists, resource managers, and policymakers. And it will always be an amazing work in progress for us. We've also developed an internal wiki. We have over 300 articles now documenting all of our standard operating procedures, everything that we do. So if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, we can continue on. And this has allowed us to begin to move from isolated expeditions to more coordinated long-term research across our entire region. And it's working. Surprisingly, our institutional and federal partners are standing up and taking notice of what we're doing and wanting to emulate what we do. And we're like, you haven't been doing this already? And then what is funny is when we started to work on this, we were just trying to keep track of where we have been. And now we've created a system that's helping us understand where we want to go next. It's a really virtuous circle. Then there's the whole technology side. And at the surface, we're using drones, we're using autonomous sensors, and underwater, we're using closed-circuit rebreathers that are helping us to reach further and stay longer within these cave systems. In the CINDAQ Biosphere Reserve, which is a 1.6 million acre UNESCO World Heritage Site, we're beginning to use camera traps and passive acoustic monitoring with a goal to eventually connect that with autonomous data collection of environmental conditions to monitor biodiversity around cave entrances in this very remote area. Meanwhile, underwater, we're creating three-dimensional models of paleontological and archaeological sites that we come in contact with so that scientists can study them without ever having to get wet. This is what I would call systematized discovery. It's an approach where the tools, the data, and the people all work together. And these are just a few of the methods that we are using. We're living in a moment, of course, where freshwater resources are under pressure, biodiversity is shrinking, and development is accelerating. But the threats are real, but also the opportunities are large. If we can build systems that make our work repeatable, if we can gather and share data that informs better decisions, then we're not just studying these caves, we're actually helping to protect them. And there's a lot at stake. It's water security, it's cultural heritage, it's the health of every single ecosystem from the jungle to the sea that we have in our region, not to mention the people who live on top of it. And data is the bridge between discovery and protection. So when people ask me what's the most important thing that you found in all of these years underwater, I could point to the 13,500 human skeleton that was discovered in 2007. I could point to the new species of brittle star that we discovered 3 years ago living within these caves. I could point to the map of the Oshbelha cave system, but rather what I do point to is this system that we've built. And all of those things are contained within it. So this system isn't just for us. We've created something that is flexible. It's a field-tested framework that is already being adopted and adapted by other organizations around the world. Data is arguably our most important asset that all of us have. And I think what I'm learning also is that every single organization that I speak with isn't focusing enough on their data and the protection of their data. So my question to you is, what are you doing with your data? Thank you.